Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Thank you for coming here. I hope everyone is healthy now. My name is Hanifah Indi Aziz. I'm from Sebelas Maret University. This morning we are going to describe fragmentation of thinking structure of high school student in solving. My background: number one, learning mathematics from one material can be for the another material prerequisites. Fragmentation of student thinking structure in concept contraction. Next, student mistake in building mathematical relation include basic error, appreciate error, missing information, partial insight. Next, every individual has a different understanding the problem and the solving. Assessing student thinking become very important, especially from photographing mathematical thinking errors and correcting their mistake. Portraits of student thinking can be used as a tool for a diagnosis student difficulties and error in solving mathematical problem. Furthermore, it can be used to correct errors that occur and be used to find patterns to develop appropriate mathematical reasoning. Mathematical thinking progress can take the form of relative thinking studies, algebra reason, thinking translation, mathematical gesture and thinking, as well as providing scaffolding relate to the importance of studying mathematical thinking. Research methods: I use description of qualitative method, sampling purpose samplings, data collection technique, test and interview, data analyze technique, data reduce, data presentation, conclusion drawing. Discuss question number one. Indi spent 3 days in a row to buy school supply. On Sunday, he spent 1/2 of the money he has. One Monday, he spent 400 less than he spent on Sundays. Meanwhile, money spent of Thursday is only 1/3 of Monday's spending. Now he still has 100 left over from shopping. Can you make a model of the problem? Make a mathematical model of the problem and determine Andi's money before spending. Second question: in a village there is already couple who live in an outhouse during until 2013 population census. The grandparents we asked from their date of birthday, they only remember that when they got married. Their age difference was 3 years. At this time my grandmother was 20 years old, 11 years after the proclamation. Can you make a linear equation for the problem above? Can we know their years of birthday? Answer first question. Example: a lot of Andi's money before spendings equal X. Sunday shopping equal 1/2X. Monday shopping 1/2X 100. Second question. Example: grandma X equal key years, grandpa birthday equal tiki, grandmother age equal n years, grandmother birthday equal tn. Mathematic model the difference between the age of grandma and grandma is 3 years, so k minus n equal 3. Grandmother is 20 years old, which is 11 years after the proclamation of 1945. First question. Subject experiencing missing information, but in process of solving problems, students seem able to solve problem properly and correctly. The subject is actually able to answer correctly, and the process of completion as if he had a conception in show this first question. However, when explaining the step in solving the problem, there are subject expressions that are not in accordance with the concept. This expression in C when the subject has translated the problem into a mathematical model. The first expression of the subject is iterating an example. Let's say that Indi has a lot money before spending x equal x. Next, for the sense shopping weeks x equal 1 by 2x. Then the subject start to doubt when the word Monday appeared. He spent 400 less of the money he spent on Sunday, but the subject could not write the example. After the subject finished answering an expression, the thought process, the research tried to clarify the subject expression by conducting the following interview. From the lesson of the interview, it can be seen the subject only follow the process that can be carried out. The subject think that the basic are the same, but the subject hesitate with the emergence of the word less than the money he spent. In the process of working for example, the first and second step are correct. But for the next step, the subject still does do not understand the concept and cannot explain the concept properly. In this case, the subject explains missing information. Second question, answer. Subject experience partial insight, but in the process of solving problems, student seem able to solve problem properly and correctly. The subject is actually able to answer correct and the process of completion, and if he had thought conceptual as showed the second question. However, when explaining the step in solving the problem set and the second subject, he can write the correct example such as grandpa X equal key, grandpa years of birthday, kindergarten grandmother S equal N, and grandmother years of birthday equal TN, and so the second subject start with the first mathematical model correctly. The age difference between grandpa and grandmother is 3 years, so K minus N equal 3. Then there are subject expressions that do not match the concept when writing the second mathematical model. The expression is seen when the subject translates into a second mathematical model. The second subject was confused with the sense 11 years after the proclamation of 1945 operate. After the subject finished answering an expression, the thought process. So, conclusion, the first subject experienced the construction of the concept of missing information. The second subject expression the concretion of the concept of partial insight. The last, the step to explore student thinking in contraction concept can be done by trying to ask questions related to this to student understanding of the material. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.